Today we will be cleaning this engine bay. It hasn't been cleaned in quite a while, and you can see what it looks like. It's not that great, and it really does need a bit of TLC. You can see some oxidation around on the engine. We'll have to clean that up. And of course there's dust everywhere. Now you can see quite a bit of oxidation on here, and I'm just going to clean it up with the wire brush. I'm using a copper wire brush, so it's pretty soft and it won't damage the material. So now we'll just clean up this as well. That rust and oxidation comes right off. So some of the parts that you're going to struggle to get into, you just use a small wire brush. And you get rid of the oxidation like that. You can already see an improvement on some of those aluminum areas. Today we're going for clean, not for pristine. So we're not going to spend hours and hours, but we still want to do a decent job and have this engine bay nice and clean when we're done. The next thing we're going to do is clear out some of these pine needles, and we do this by hand. Now we're going to remove the battery. Always remember to do the negative first. Some people don't do this. They clean the car with the battery on, but I prefer not to do that. We are going to use the hose and water it down. So I'm rather going to remove this, and I can always just clean the battery cage as well. So some people say you don't have to do this, but I just want to be really careful. So I use a black bag just to protect the coil over here. And then I use another plastic bag for the alternator. So these are the two areas I really want to make sure I get covered. It's not a train smash if I don't, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Now it's time to start vacuuming. We'll start with the cowling and do the rest of the engine bay. And we're going to just vacuum off as much as we can. Okay, now that we've done the vacuuming, got off as much as we could, now we're going to just blow out the rest, and we're going to just use the leaf blower for that. But you can always use a shop vac and just turn it the other way around, of course, and just use it as a blower. But now we're going to blow out what we couldn't suck up. Now we'll be using a spray bottle just to spray the engine down with degreaser. I'm going to use Super Clean, and I'm diluting this 4:1 with water. This is not the only thing you can use. Of course, you can use any kind of degreaser you want, but this is pretty good. Now we'll start with the inside of the hood here, and we'll just spray everything down. The rest of the engine we're just going to spray down very well with this degreaser. And you can spray anywhere, you don't have to worry. We've covered the most important electrical parts. Now that we've got everything sprayed down, we're going to start just agitating all the stuff with using brushes and even paint brushes. Now it's time for us just to hose everything down, and we'll start under the hood, and then we'll go to the rest of the engine. And you don't have to worry about getting everything wet, because we have protected what we need to protect. Once you've completed your rinse, it's time to blow dry it, and you can either use your leaf blower again, or you could use, as I said, the shop vac on the blow side. But yeah, get it as dry as possible. Now that we've dried the engine, you can already see an improvement. But as an added bonus, I'm going to use this back to black and just put this on all the black surfaces to kind of revitalize that. You don't need to do this, but if you want to do it, it's pretty simple. You're just going to put some of that on the cloth, and you're just going to apply that to your surfaces, and then you let it dry. Now you take a clean microfiber cloth and you just give your whole engine a wipe down. Everywhere you can get to with the cloth, you just make sure it's all dry and clean. So when we started this job, we said we want this engine to be clean, not pristine, and so we're not going to spend hours and hours, but we do want it to look nice, and I think we've achieved that. If you look at the engine itself, it's really nice, and this will be easy for us to work on if we want to do any kind of work on it now. Not only is the engine bay good, but also under the hood, nice and neat and clean. All in all, I think it was a good effort. I think it cleaned up really nicely.